Google My Business has made several changes and updates since COVID-19 began. In this video, we're going to break down those changes, give you a bunch of examples with my expert tips. Let's do this. Look, coronavirus sucks. Let's just get that out there. You may be struggling with your business and it's not your fault. I mean, there's a lot going on right now in the world. A lot of it's, some of these things are in our hands, but a lot of them aren't. But I want to see your business succeed. I know you want your business to succeed. And I think one of the best things, and this is something that's going to be underlying all of our tips, is that we want to present our businesses in a positive light and give our customers and potential customers confidence that we will take care of them, that we are doing everything we can to not only provide them quality, accurate information online, but also persuade them to come into the business, do business with you. And that's what's going to be, the underlying theme with all these tips. Present a business positively, give customers and potential customers confidence in our business. Which brings us to tip number 1, which is to confirm your hours of operations. Now, if you go to your Google My Business listing, the public-facing listing that you have, it's likely, if you haven't done this yet, you're gonna see a warning, kind of a notification slapped onto your listing, basically saying that your hours may be inaccurate. And Google applied this to basically all businesses, and you can remove this through a simple thing we're gonna tell you in a second. But this is not a good thing for potential customers to see. If they see this, they're not going to have confidence in your hours. All right. So let's go ahead and remove this. I'll show you how to remove this notification. Here I am in the back end of my Google My Business listing. I'm under the Info tab, and basically what you want to do is scroll down, just edit your hours, and confirm apply your hours. So that should remove the notification. But if it doesn't, because this feature has been a little bit buggy, Google rolled out a ton of features very quickly, a lot of updates, and so there has been some reports of little issues here and there. So if you did this and within a couple days it did not fall off, go to your not more hours, we're going to talk about that later. Go to your add special hours, and basically you can tinker with this a little bit, confirm maybe a special hours coming up, and that should knock it down. While we're on the screen, the second tip is to add more hours. This is a new feature that Google added to provide more information. Again, we're building confidence with those potential customers of the things you provide. And this is really important for restaurants in particular, with things like delivery, pickup. But maybe your business has senior hours. Maybe you have online operating hours where you're only operating online during certain periods. Hours is very important to Google, so you want to make sure this is accurate. And on a personal note, you don't want a customer to show up at your business if you're not open. That could, we hate for this to happen, but that could lead to a negative review if it's providing a bad experience. So see all the options available to add more hours, and add any of these if possible if you think it'll provide more and better information to your potential customers. My third tip is to make a COVID-19 Google post. Now, this is no normal, typical Google post, which if you don't know what that is, watch my video about that previously. But the COVID-19 specifically has some features a little bit different. It's higher up in your Google My Business listing, so it's going to get more traction, or it's going to get more views and more attention than other Google My Business posts. It has a label, specifically for coronavirus things. And with this, you can just it's another way to provide information to your potential customers about your business. So let me go ahead and show you how to do this, and we'll walk through it a little bit. We're going to walk through this on the phone, and you can see I'm in the Google My Business app, which if you don't have this, go ahead and download it for the Apple and Android. And right here on the bottom right, you can see that colorful plus with a post. And when we click on that, it provides a bunch of options. And right there at the top, it says COVID-19 status. And what you want to do is click on that, and it will bring up basically the area that you can make that COVID-19 specific post. Now, it's basically a normal post, but you cannot add a photo to it. So there's no photo that can be added, but you can add some text and add a call to action, they call it a button, on the screen so that you can direct customers to maybe your website or an online ordering or online booking website. Now, you can add a lot of characters here. You can see there's 1,500 characters, but I'm just going to add a little message just so you can see what it looks like, and then we're going to post it so you can see the front end of that as well. I just wrote something really simple and off the cuff here, and basically with this COVID-19 post, you could have thousands, maybe tens of thousands of potential customers reading this, so you want to instill confidence that you're going to not only be open, but also taking care of them. And with this post, you have the text, but then you can also add a button. And I did book and just added my website. And then once you click publish, so if you go into Google Maps or Google and search for your business, your Google My Business listing should pop up. And then you can see the Google post there right at the top. And your customers can read it, then you can book and then move on. So add it, try it out. You can always edit it if you're not liking how it comes out, or if it's confusing, or if things update with your business. Update it as rules change in your city. It's free marketing, folks. Take advantage of it, do it. The fourth tip is to add new attributes to your business listing. Attributes are pretty much little snippets of information that Google asks for you to give so it can provide it to people looking at your listing. There's a couple of new ones that have been out. I'm going to show you at least what mine looks like so you can do it on your own. I'm back here on the computer under the Info tab in the back end of Google My Business. If you scroll down, so keep scrolling, and then you're going to see highlights and service options, and then you can see there it says add attributes. So when I click this, it says I don't have any attributes because I'm a service-based business. If you have a store location, you're going to have several more possible attributes. Similar to the hours, you're probably going to see pickup related, delivery related. There are going to be some notification or attributes that are related to coronavirus to give customers more information. So choose all the attributes. They're going to show on the front end of your Google My Business listing so potential customers can see it and provide more information to them. The fifth tip is to add a support link if it applies to you. Now, the support link, this really came about in particular when we had massive shutdowns with businesses and businesses couldn't get any revenue. So many of them started crowdfunding campaigns to raise funds for their business. And then also a lot of people started promoting gift cards so that if somebody wanted to, give some revenue in cash flow to the business right now, they could buy a gift card that could be used later on. So in the front end, the public facing end, you have the option to display these links if you have them. Now, there's some rules with it. It has to be in a approved websites or your own website. But if you have gift cards and you want to promote it, again, this is free advertising right there within Google for your business. The sixth tip is to update your Google description. This is basically a summary of your business in your Google My Business listing. If you haven't added one, go ahead and you want to add one, generally about your business. But in particular, you might want to change a couple sentences at the top to really explain what's going on with your business in terms of COVID-19. Are your hours changed? Have you done anything differently within your business? PPE, requiring masks, anything like that. Now, at this point in the tips, you're probably thinking that some of this stuff might get repetitive and redundant, but that's okay because remember, people are on their phones looking up your business. They're on the go. Maybe they're sitting at a red light in their car. So not everyone's going to see all this. One, two, it's all a lot of new information. So it's okay to be repetitive. So if you're like, Blake, I don't need to add this because I've already updated my hours or I've already made it a post, you might want to say it again just to make sure people are getting the point. So let me show you how to go ahead and make that Google description or update it really easily on your phone. So when you go in the Google My Business app here, you can see at the bottom there's the pencil with profile, and you want to click on that, and that'll bring up just your general profiles information. And when you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see this little business storefront looking icon. And when you click on that, that's your business description. Now I've already filled it out. It gives you 750 characters. I recommend, adding the whole, filling out the whole thing, because again, it's free marketing space. And it's really basic, nothing too complicated here. Hit save, and then it will show it and display it on your public facing Google My Business listing. My 7th tip here, we're almost done, hang in there, is to add COVID-related Q&As on your Google My Business listing. Now, this feature was suspended by Google for a little bit while we were trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do. But now that it is, we've settled down a little bit, they have reopened the Q&As. And this is probably getting more attention than ever before, simply because people are going to your listing and they have questions. They have things that they don't know about. Or is it required to wear a mask? What are your hours? Are you appointments only? These are, if you're getting questions consistently in your business, you can post them here and answer them. Now, questions are usually for customers to ask, and you may be getting questions. So this is something you need to monitor. But you can also ask your own question and then answer your own question at the same time, right? You don't have to wait for someone to ask it. You can actually log in, as you're logged in to your business's Google account, you can ask the question and answer it. So think about those common questions that you have and then answer them as well. So let me show you what that looks like. This is going to be a little bit different than the things we've previously shown. You want to be logged into your Google account, but you're going to do this all on your public profile. None of this is going to be done on the back end. It's all going to be done on the front. So let me show you what that looks like. This is going to be easier to do on the computer most likely, so I'm going to do it in Google here, and you can search your business's name and you can scroll down here on the right and you're going to see questions and answers. Click see all questions, and here's your questions that you could be asking yourself and answering yourself. So you can click ask a question here on the top right, type it in, and do you require masks? And then if we post it, it will post. And then you can find your question. You probably want to like it just to like your own question, and then answer it. And then you post it, and then there it is, right? So depending on how popular or how many searches your business is getting, people could be looking at this, hundreds, maybe thousands of times every month, trying to figure out your business. So get on there, check it out, see if you have any unanswered questions, and basically just provide your customers and potential customers the information they are looking for. So my 8th tip, the last one we have here, is also the saddest one, so that's why I saved it for last. You may be in a situation that you are required to temporarily close. I'm seeing this a lot with certain businesses that have a lot of employees, that maybe one of your employees gets coronavirus and you have to shut down for a few days to do a deep clean. Maybe your local government shut you down. So what you really don't want to do is to close your doors, alter your hours without updating your Google My Business listing. This has happened to me where I've gone to several businesses where online it says they're open, I show up, they're closed. Now you don't want that to happen to potential customers, and Google doesn't either. So they've added a feature for you to temporarily close your business. Now you may be thinking, Blake, this is, I don't want to temporarily close my business, I'm going to lose my Google rankings. While that may have been true in the past, Google has said publicly that when you temporarily close your business, it will not affect your local 3-pack rankings, which is awesome. So make sure you temporarily close it, because if you don't, I hate for this to happen, but it could result in a negative review. So we don't want that to happen from somebody who shows up and you're closed. So to mark this as temporarily closed, you want to go into the back end of your listing. Right here, again, on the info tab, everything's under the info tab in this video. You can, obviously there's this section on the right where mark as temporarily closed, permanent, remove listing. You can mark as temporarily closed and then close the business. And then when you're open, just mark it as open, and then it will go back to normal. That wraps up the video. Hopefully you have found it helpful. If you have, give me a thumbs up. And listen, I want to hear from you before you go. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or comments. I read all of them, I answer all of them. Also, just let me know, I'm always curious, let me know what changes you're making to get through this pandemic, what's working, what's not. Leave me some comments below, start a conversation. All right, y'all, I'm Blake Stockton, thanks for watching. Keep calm and Google my business on.